Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. We are looking at a 4-point spread. There's a 4.5 available as well. 48.5 is your total on this one. The Tennessee Titans played last week without A.J. Brown, without Julio Jones. Both of those wide receivers equaled a loss to the Jets for this Tennessee Titans team. Was not able to get it done, even feeding Derrick Henry 33 times in that game. Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, dealing with all kinds of things going on top of being winless. Their coach is out getting lap dances from college girls and things and all this stuff, and having to deal with that and apologize to the team, and has an owner who said he's got to get his the trust and respect of the team back and everything. So yeah, definitely a dumpster fire going on there in Jacksonville. Steven, I'll start with you because, shocker, you have a bet in on this one. So what do you have going on here, and what do you see in the Titans and Jags game?
This is a betting podcast, right? Like that's what we're doing, right?
I mean, it is. I just didn't know if you knew that, like, you don't have to bet on every single game. I didn't know if you knew that there's a rule that you don't have to put in a bet on every single game.
Yeah, but that. Yeah, I have Titans -4 here. I mean, this is a buy low spot for me. I don't have much. Honestly, this is mostly narrative street. You touched on the Urban Meyer nonsense, but I mean, on top of that, the Jags had a mini bye week here, which is supposed to be an advantage. They completely wasted the extra prep time on that. Urban Meyer doesn't fly home with the team. The team doesn't do any prep. He spends the weekend in Ohio and then reportedly spent all day Monday in crisis management mode after that, canceling the team meetings. That pissed off the players. If you haven't seen Michael Silver's thread, by the way, on what the Jags are thinking about how he handled all this, it's hilarious. So go check that out. But I mean, so the mini buy has been wasted. They didn't take advantage of the extra prep time there. So to me, this line is 3 points cheaper than it was before the Titans lost to the Jets. I'm happy to take the buy low spot here on the Titans and the dumpster fire that is Jacksonville this week, as long as we get one of Julio Jones or A.J. Brown back this week. And on Wednesday, Julio did not practice. A.J. Brown was a limited participant. The Titans offense hasn't been great, but the Jags D has been worse. So you know what? I don't really have much else other than that. The Jags are a friggin' mess, more so than I've maybe seen in my entire life watching the NFL through 4 weeks of a season. So just give me the Titans -4, and we get to root against Urban Meyer's dumbass.
Yeah, Steven, Brad, if we're looking at this one, I mean, the problem here really is you just don't. You don't. If you look at what Trevor Lawrence did on Thursday Night Football, there were signs, there were glimpses, there was like a bit of hope. He didn't play terrible. It looked like they maybe figured something out on offense as well, where he was, running these RPOs and using his athleticism and stuff. And I don't know, there's something about that game that gives me just a little bit of pause as far as betting against them at such a short, to me, I don't know. There's something sitting here in my craw. Talk me off of this? Is this definitely a game I should be betting against the Jaguars?
No, I'm with you. I think Lawrence is figuring it out, right? I think we've forgotten that this was like the once in a generation consensus first overall pick, and the next Andrew Luck or whatever, because he was bad, but. That Thursday night game, they had a 55% success rate. I think they were better than the Bengals in most of those advanced metrics. It was the read options and RPO stuff. And I think he's figuring it out. I think he's starting to work out what throws he can get away with. And so, yeah, I don't want to bet against him here. I did hear multiple former players this week say that they'd never seen a coach not get on the plane home, and that they would have, they personally would have stopped listening, and they would, they wouldn't want to play for him. Does that mean the Jags are going to quit? I don't think so. I think it's week 5. Every player is graded. Everyone is watching all the tape. You can't just go out there and pack it in because Urban Meyer got a lap dance. So Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the over is my favourite look. I've not bet anything just because I do think Trevor Lawrence can have some fun here against no pass rush and no real secondary to speak of, and who's stopping Derrick Henry on the other side. So maybe over 48.5 is the look for me.
Yeah, I'm going to hold out. Listen, it's a Jags or nothing for me in this one. The only thing I would say is if one of those two wide receivers does actually get ruled in for the Titans, you're probably going to get a better number than the 4 that's out there right now. I think the public's going to react to that a pretty decent amount.
That's why I bet it now, by the way, because I thought it would go higher than this.
AJ Brown practiced yesterday, didn't he? I think so.
He did.
I would guess he would go and Julio won't based on practice yesterday.
And so if that announcement comes through official, then I think I might look to play a Jags if this thing maybe runs. If this thing happens to hit a 6, I would probably play the Jags then at that point. But until then, it'll be a pass for me.